Day, 2018. I am interviewing Sacred Soul with Felicia Parkinson at Sacred Soul. Welcome, Felicia.
Felicia Patrick.
Patrick. So Parkinson. Maybe I Parkinson.
No.
Okay, all right. So we're interviewing Felicia. We have no scripts, nothing. We're just gonna go as it goes, and we're just gonna jump in. As you all know, Felicia and we are networking, and we're looking for another person who is going to do the birth chart. So if you're interested, Felicia and I would love to have an interview with you. We are trying to change the energy on the planet, and as you guys know, that Felicia is doing the Akashic Records. Okay, the Akashic Records is basically lifetime and lifetime information over your lifetimes and lifetime, past lifetimes, what the issue that you're going through in this lifetime. And she will look at different aspects, and she will work with you with her 21 days program and her 27 days program. Okay, Felicia also sells her products are coming up. She's going to be having candles and crystals for the Christmas and Thanksgiving. Please check out Felicia's website. I will put the name of her website below this video, and you can go and check out Felicia and her website. Thank you, Felicia, for being here. This has been a long waited. Thank you for being on live, Friday Night Live with myself. Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you
You're
for
welcome.
connecting.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we're really working together to deal with the ascension. Like everyone, that's why we're here. We're here to ascend and get to our next steps, our next level. And the Akashic Records is a good place to go to get that information, whether it's your past life information, understanding who you truly are at soul level. Because to know where you're going, you have to know who you are. And sometimes some of the stuff you pretty much have an idea of who you are, but when you look into the records, you see a lot more that you probably never even imagined or you didn't even think about. You understand your gifts, how you were created by Source himself, and understanding those gifts and applying those gifts to your life will bring you the abundance that you're looking for. What all the stuff that Kathye says in her readings for you, you might wonder sometimes, why aren't they coming through the way they're supposed to come through? Like Kathye said, this is going to happen, and it doesn't happen. You have to understand the moment Kathye said it to you, it can happen for you because you're vibrating at that. But then are you holding that vibration? What else is happening after she shares that information with you? And looking into your records could help you to understand, why am I being blocked? Why can't I receive that great stuff that Kathye just shared with me? I'm getting this in about a few weeks and it didn't happen. You might have some blocks.
Yeah.
And in their records is where you would get answers to what those are and how you can now work with your energy vibration to continue to vibrate at what Kathye was feeling for you at that moment. So after, so that's how the Akashic Records kind of work. So everyone wants that quick, oh, I want that. She said that, I want it. But there's more to it. And you really have to understand how energy plays a big factor, as well as with the records. So I don't know. And
I think it has also to do, correct me, but I think it also has to do with, people place so many blockages on themselves. And the biggest problem that is happening at this moment is that a lot of people are aware of magic and all of these things. So other people are blocking you, and you mentally are blocking yourself. And what Felicia does for us is to show you where the blocks are coming from, which lifetime is affecting you, and she helps you with her 21 days course or 27 days course to help you to remove those blockages, because most of the time we blocked ourselves not even knowing that. And that's the biggest problem when people said, yeah, but you said that this was coming out and that was coming out, you have heard it, but you still don't believe it.
That too.
And manifestation goes with focusing, have faith in the universe, know that it's going to happen. It's all about manifestation. It's knowing that something is going to happen. And have the faith. Let go and have the faith that the universe is going to have your back in whatsoever it is. And it's not wishing something for someone else. It is actually wishing a positive energy vibration for yourself and someone else. And that is coming back to you as a gift from the universe because you've wished for someone else. And it comes back to you. Like, people do not understand that you can't take. You have to, it's a balance.
Yes.
Give and take.
No, yeah, you're correct.
See that basically.
You're very correct. It's about the balance, and always, it's about yourself. It's all about taking responsibility for you. You cannot wish things for other people, because in the end of the day, once you start to do stuff for yourself, it will automatically somehow affect everyone else. So, just for example, like you're wishing to get a certain person. You know, you don't have control over the exact individual, but understand the energies you want to bring in. It might not be that particular person, but and you might be blocking yourself because you're being too attached to that one individual and blocking yourself from what is really to come. And all of these things is what you need to look at. You know, you might get a reading say he's coming in, and you're still stuck on this one he. You probably had the wrong he all along. So it's about removing the attachments. Attachments are blockages. Those are things that you would learn, and you'll start to see that you have a lot of attachments to certain things or certain people, and you got to learn to let those go. So with my programs, I've actually made them a little bit longer because I realized the longer that I have them, it helps people to really integrate all these changes. So I kind of ask that people do a 6-month commitment, and we meet either once a week or we do it every other week, and it's all done on the phone. And what we do is just work with keeping your vibrations where they belong to help you to manifest what you want, because it's very easy. You go through everyday life, you tend to forget, and you don't bring that consciousness into everything you're doing. But with this program and how we work together, we start to make you, through meditation and through a lot of our conversations, start bringing that consciousness to everything you're doing and asking yourself, okay, what did I do here? And when we reveal what you did, and that was where you brought your energy vibration down to a little lower when you got a little anxious or you got a little scared or you had some fear, you have to look at that and say, okay, how could I have dealt with this situation instead of going into fear?
Yeah.
So maybe it's your perception. So we start to just really look at everything from a conscious perspective, as opposed to letting ego come in and rule everything for you. And that's where most of the times you start to lose when you're trying to manifest. So all of those things we look at, and of course we're in the records all the time.
Yeah.
You truly are.
Because everything, as long as your soul exists, your soul collects all the informations of all the lifetimes you've ever had. And basically, what does that do? The Akashic Records, because that's the name of it, the Akashic Records is everything, every thought, every action, every deed in every lifetime that you have ever done. And this is where a lot of people keep on having recurrent relationship, reborn and the recreation, because what happened is that a lot of people are reincarnated. And not until you understand why is it that you're reincarnated and why you have not elevated to another energy vibration. It's because you have lost the information of who you are when you were born on this planet. Because every time we come in existence on this planet, because this planet is so dense, we forget who it is and who are we as a true spiritual being. Now the problem, and where and I was blown away, and this is why I did the video with Felicia, is because I was blown away that this lady, and thank you so much, this lady could have touch and on so many aspects that I thought, oh my God, I've had readings, but this one, it blows me away. And she could go back, she could see your energy vibration because she measures your energy vibration. That is what is so beautiful. To give us some more about that.
Oh, the energy vibration. Yes. When you have the access to get into the Akashic Records, what it's going to give you is exactly what is affecting you right now. I mean, because like Kay said, it's information for every lifetime you've been here. So that's a lot of information. But what you need right now is whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever struggles, whatever it may be, that is the information that's going to come forward because it's going off of that vibration. So without you even sharing with me whatever it is you're going through, it's the answers that is going to come through for you. And most times, like I said, it's when I look at it and I look into your past lives, it's usually your past life is resembling your current life. It's almost, you'll tell me this is exactly what's happening with my life right now. I said, well, this issue that you're dealing with actually started, let's say 5 lifetimes ago. And you did XYZ. And then when I'm speaking to you, you're going to say, well, I'm doing XYZ right now. And I said, well, yeah, because you're on repeat. You haven't changed something. There's something that you need to change. And that's where we step in. And you got to look at it like you got a little cheat sheet. You got an opportunity to really tap into exactly what it was. So here I am revealing to you what you've been doing for 5 lifetimes over and over again. And you now have this opportunity to say, okay, I have to stop this. I have to change it. What do I got to do? And that's when we change it. Because now, when you make that change, now you're working, going up that ladder. You are starting to level. I like to say level up, but it's ascend. And that's why you're here.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's a blessing.
It's like getting off the reincarnation wheel.
Yes, and
it's like
getting on another. Get off that hamster wheel. I go, it's the hamster wheel. You're on that wheel, and you're running. It's time to get off the wheel. You've been doing it for 5 lifetimes. Like, I know you're tired.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You gotta be tired of being on that wheel right now.
Exactly.
So, yes.
So,
to your next steps.
I'm sorry to cut you. I just got something in. There are. Have you met how many different like light workers have you met in your experience since you've started? Because there's some of us that are here as watchers and some of us that are just here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get all my shoes.
No worries.
And some of us who are just here clearing other people's karma, but not really being a part of this planet. How do you deal with the crystals that are here?
They're in human skin. I mean, we're all humans still, so they are affected. It's like no one is exempt because once you're here living in this dimension, you are subjected to everything that happens within this dimension. So even the light workers or the crystal people, if we want to put it like that, they also have their own things that they need. Like when I read with you, there's still things you need to work through or that will block you because you're here. You're going to be dealing with different blockages as well. So working with them, it's a little different because like with you, I'm sharing stuff that you already seen and it's like just confirmation. Like we're talking about what you already know, but it's just nice to see it. And working with them is great because in collaborating with people like yourself and other light workers, it helps them to help more. And that connection it's amazing, and everything lifts everyone, not just me and the person I'm reading for, but it essentially raises the planet, the vibration of the planet. So I love when I work with other light workers and other healers or whatever they may be. It's almost magical, but it's a great thing because it really, and also with the records, sometimes healers, they can't see records. So coming to me to give them that, I'm just giving them what they need to move on and do what they need, what they're here to do. So it was really, it's always a blessing to come in with a healer who's not able to really tap into the records the way I am, and give them all the keys they need, because
Yeah.
and it's no coincidence that I read for them,
Yeah.
because
Because you're seen from the spiritual world, you are one of the most important person on this planet at this moment, because you got the keys that can be used to access each and every person records on this planet. And it is wonderful because not a lot of light workers receive this, and this is why we need to come back to you sometimes to find out what is this issue all about.
right.
And you know, this is more a situation where we're dealing with more light workers, but the situation where the point that I'm really trying to make is that it's not only for light workers, it's for each and every person.
Yes.
It is for people to be aware of who they are. It's as if you need to know what's in your birth chart. You need to know what's happening in your birth chart. Because I can remember I have a friend in North Carolina, and we were talking one day, and I said, can I just please look at your birth chart? Because he was seeing other people, and they were like sending him stuff and let him know that it's time to do another reading. And he says, sure. And I did his birth chart, my birth chart, and I was like, damn, there's nothing in your birth chart. Are you sure you should be here? And he was like, oh my God, you got so much things going on in your birth chart. I said, yes, this is my last time on this planet. So his birth chart was just plain. And it was so amazing because he was like blown away from it. And he was like, hey, I always felt as if I was different. And he is so basically so activated and aware and so conscious, unknowingly, how it is. And that's how we basically attract each other into existence. And he says, I think we're here to support each other's on our journeys.
Of course, yes, definitely.
And it was the same thing with you also, where and he says, oh my God, because I said to him, you have to get a past life because there's nothing in your birth chart. So obviously you haven't been on this vibrational planet before. And he and I have met in other vibration of this planet, but in other planetary systems, because we're from the 9. And and then we started investigating what this was all about. And I could remember he says, hey, why didn't you say that so? Like last year, March, the big full moon, it's as if I could pull the moon down. And he was like, shit is about to happen, isn't it? And I said to him, yes. But the point is that I advise people, goes to Sakred Soul because people need to get this information. It's not all about, we were all born in the 3 dimension. We are all moving from out the 3 dimension to the 4th dimension. And it's actually that we're all here to learn to balance the material world of the 3 dimension that we were born in, and to elevate ourselves to the 5th dimension where we are looking forward to go, and where the planets need to go to. So, you know, when you started this, Felicia, what driven you to this point?
It was just about helping people. It's essentially, all I knew was I want to help people. And somewhere along the way, I realized I had this gift. No coincidences. I stumbled across classes I started looking at online, and I was just playing around, trying to just figure it out for myself. And lo and behold, here I am reading people, seeing their past lives. And I'm just, and blowing them away at the same time I was blowing myself away because I had no idea what was going on. And from then I'm like, okay. And I always say it, I can help people from a place that is just bigger than me. And it's like not just me, it's a whole team of us that has come together to make this happen. So I always tell people, take advantage of it, because if you're drawn to this, it's what your soul is looking for right now. Your soul is ready. It's like it's time. There's something happening. If you're at that crossroads or you feel like you're stuck in the same spot, all of those are like triggers, little pokes to tell you, all right, it's time. It's time to look within and make some changes, because obviously I'm not doing what I came here to do. We all have a purpose, all of us. You know, you think you hear you have a purpose and you think you got to do something grand and it's amazing. That's not always what the purpose is. It can be the simple little things, and you have no idea how much it's touching millions of people. So stop looking for that big, amazing thing and know that everyone's purpose is unique in its own individual way.
Yeah, and this is what I've been telling people. Each and every one of us on this planet has a story. Each and every one of us, no matter who we are, what color, creed, or race we are, we all have a story. And we are all here in one denomination, and that is to work on our karmatic situations and also learn to love ourselves, but also learn to love others unconditionally. We need to understand that we're connected to each and everything on the planet, because I remember when we connected, and I was like, and I said, look, if you need some help to get out there, you know, let's network together. This is so beautiful, because what you're doing, that's what I felt to do, because I'm coming from a corporate world. So are you coming from a corporate world. But something dramatic happen in our lives, when it's always someone passed away that truly meant something to us. And that is where it triggers us. Hey, something
bigger is going on.
Go ahead.
There's more. There's exactly. Usually losing a loved one that is like your trigger that makes you wonder, what is this life really about? You're like, there's something that I'm missing. There's something bigger. And that's when you start that soul searching. And this is where this all begins, especially with the whole Akashic readings. It goes right to the soul. It sees it all from inception, creation, to right now. And like you said, everything is recorded. Every thought, every feeling, every emotion, every action that you've ever had, everything we're doing right now, it's being recorded. It's all in those records. And it's just an amazing thing. Sometimes I feel like a walking encyclopedia, but it's a lot of information that's always coming in for different people, for whatever they need to help them to move on and help them to remember who they are and what they came here to do. Because before you came here, before you were born, you already sat down with your team of people. That's what I call them, your spirit guides. You sat down and you said, you mapped out what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it. And sometimes we come here and we forget. And all I'm here to do is make you remember, because once you remember, you're gone. You don't need me after that. You're just I'm just going to open a few doors and guide you through them. And after that, just run, fly, as a matter of fact. So it's What I should say is that, if, you know, for all the people who are listening to this and wants to know what the Akashic Records is all about, I think, you know, it's one of those things that each and every person should do for their lives, and it's to get a birth chart reading and an Akashic Record reading. And, you know, I have worked with Felicia, and she goes to, you know, just the little points, and she gives you this healing and this current. And I'm asking, you know, like, everyone, try and get a reading from Felicia. I know it's 30,000 of you, but this reading is going to change your mind for a lifetime. You are going to be realizing, oh my gosh, now I understand why I have gone through so much my entire life. Because people think that it's a curse. It's not a curse. No, it's your blessing.
It's just lessons that we need to learn. And as we connect on a higher frequency, we understand exactly who we are as a person and as a being on this planet, because we were all born in the 3 dimension that only let you know, oh, we're supposed to get married to this person, live with this person for our own entire life, and that's it. and we have kids, and then we die, and then the kids grow up, and then they have kids. But what happened to all the karmas, and what happened to all the things that happen? Why is it that we tend to hold on grudge and hold on things that we need to let go? Because by holding on a grudge and holding on hate and holding on jealousy, we actually break our own energy vibration, not knowing that.
Yeah, that's when you bring it down. Yeah,
that's when we bring it down.
And those when you create those blockages, and you've been carrying it so long. And sometimes you get to a point you lose who you are because of society. Society starts to dictate who you are. You begin to believe that's who you are. You even might have friends and family who have already put you in a certain box, and you begin to believe that's who you are as well. And the truth is that is totally against who you are as a divine being. And it's not until you look in and tap into your records will you get exactly who you are. And you're like, okay, that resonates with me more so than all of that other stuff. And all that other stuff is what was blocking you, because you're so busy trying to be someone you were never.
Right.
Because society has said you have to do this way, and you have, like, I gotta go to school, I gotta get a job, I gotta be married. Maybe that is not who you are. And
that's what society places on us. Basically, society has this thing, it places on us that we need to achieve an higher goal. And for what? Because we are only helping the people who are already made it.
Right.
So basically we spend our whole entire life but not doing the divine work that we came here for.
Yes, you lose yourself. Imagine that. So imagine doing something so much that's not you, you get lost. And that's when you hit those crossroads, and that's when you get stuck, and you're just like standing there wondering what happened. And sometimes you've been doing it so long, it became your normal that you actually believe that's who you are. And when you give yourself that moment to really find out, you can finally live, and I will say live your best life. That's when you're going to live your best life. Is when
and trust me, you're right with that.
You got to be you, and when you can't be you if you don't know who that is. So all I do is offer you that opportunity to know who that person is. And a lot of times people, when I read for them and share that information, they'll say something like, oh my gosh, I always knew that, but they never did anything about it because they're too busy just going on that wheel, just doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. And it was just easy to wake up and keep doing that. And once you give it to them, it's like, wow, it's like a reprogram, a reset button you can hit. And it's life changing. And the great thing is you're not just changing this lifetime. You have now changed how things are going to go when you come back. You have already set in motion a better lifetime when you return. So imagine getting past all of this. You don't have to do this again. But those who don't come back and they keep repeating it, it gets a little tired. I know it gets.
Yeah, because you're just on that wheel, going. Hey, Felicia, I was thinking, there are so many aspects of what we're doing, and so many things, and so many people. And, it was not, in every culture, because I was watching, and one of my favorite person to watch to relax is Unwind with Kathye Kaan. I think she's a wonderful person. I love her laugh. And she hits the celebrities up and that sort of a thing. And she said something that was so beautiful and profound. And I thought, oh my God, she's such a beautiful soul. And, she said, her thing was, she said, witchcraft, magic, whatever you call it, has always been in every culture and every lifetime. And I thought that was a good point that I could have done in this interview. And a lot of people are not, either it is something of, it's underneath the table, or nobody wants to talk about it, or people see it from a view. But what I was getting from my guides is that it is coming more in focus now, because people realize there's a shift. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that? Because I think we're not. I think they're showing it as a negative energy, but it's not negative.
It's not.
It is It is of positive and negative. Everything on this planet is a positive and negative because you have positive, you have white witch and you have a dark witch. So everything in life is based on positive and negative.
The duality must always be there. It's necessary for balance. It's just the way, how it works on this planet. If it's out of balance, we're going to have a problem. So we need both. We need the light. We need the dark. We need for everything to work correctly. And yes, I have noticed, to answer your question, that people are starting to embrace what they call witchcraft, or whatever the case may be, and realizing that both work together. Yes, the candles. Some people do the candle stuff. Depending on your culture, it's all
candles is magic, because with candles, it's all about doing your full moon or your new moon magic, because it's actually you're manifesting for yourself,
right?
You're healing for yourself. So I always see candle work as being positive.
It's a belief. I mean, I think most people, depending on your culture or whatever, specifically for my culture, West Indian culture, they will first think, okay, that is a negative thing. You're doing something you shouldn't be doing. But when the most important thing to do is when you have a fear of something, look into that fear. Don't just become ignorant about it. Look into it. And when you look into it, you'll realize what it truly is. That fear is blocking you from something bigger that you can actually use in your life
to help you.
Because using the energies of the moon and the candles, these are energies we are dealing with. And when you understand that that is what it is, you'll realize, oh, there's nothing negative or dark about it. The moon brings in very powerful energies that can help lift your energies and help you manifest what you need. The candle energies, the colors in the candles, the crystals, all of these elements were put here by source, and
for us to
use. It's all one.
Ourselves.
It's all one. We're all one. So you use elements of the earth. You use elements, all of them. It's very necessary, and there's nothing dark about it.
No.
And people would, I always say, look into it.
Google that shit.
Google it and really look at what it is, and don't just look at, look, see, it's bad. See, they said that. No, look at it and start to use your mind and consciously look at the information you're receiving, and you will figure out and listen to your intuition, because your intuition will not fail you. It'll tell you, oh, this makes sense, or whatever the case may be. And also learn to put ego aside, because ego will tell you, oh, don't do that shit. Don't do that.
Exactly.
And you have to learn to differentiate what is ego and what is intuition. Ego thinks it's helping you sometimes, but sometimes it's so used to protecting you that you have to realize sometimes it will hurt you. So you have to know the difference between, oh, this is my ego and this is my intuition. And it takes time. Meditation, all of that helps. Those are stuff I try to do with all my clients to help them to really differentiate, well, who's talking to me? Is it my ego or is it my intuition? And you'll start to learn and differentiate. And then you'll understand that what you might have once feared is no reason to fear. And always look at your fears. Your fears is the first indication of what your blocks are. As you start to look at those fears, you will know, oh, okay, that was a block. And you start to understand, I'm guilty. It's happened to me. There was many things I feared in this process. And I'm thinking, oh, that's not good. That's probably on the dark side. And I learned a lot. The whole candle energy, the moonlight. I'm thinking rituals, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. But the truth is, I learned that it's an energy thing. And not all this other stuff that we are taught that it is. Oh my God, that's some black magic or some voodoo stuff. It's no,
because it's different.
It's very different.
People don't understand the differentiality of this sort of a thing, because voodoo sound like and come from the African gods.
Right, it's the name they use.
That's the name they use. Right. And then we have the energy of the bush doctor, which is a healing person that gives you remedy. Because and
the process is kind of the same.
From the West Indian culture, because I was also one of those who we have the West Indian culture. So we have all of that coming out. But when we look now, we have the shamans, but everything is of good and positive. In Romania, they have the witches. You know, in different countries, they have different things. It depends on what do you want and how do you work,
with it.
For protection. People go for themselves. I mean, the richest people in the world goes to India, because India is the place where you get everything done. And no, serious.
Right. Yes.
And you know, the energy in India is so powerful because India, and we should all remember that everything started here in America, and everything is going to begin again here in America. And this is where the shift is coming in America at this moment. And this is why we are elevating each and every person to be aware of who they are, because we have to confront ourselves that there are all these organization groups of people, and we all need to respect them, because we could not have been on this planet without these organizations and these things, because it was the same thing that happened in Atlantis. What is your viewpoint on this?
I total agreement with everything. We have to also look at we've been here many times, so a lot of the stuff that people are doing, the rituals, the culture, all of these things developed over time. You have to understand, we came into this planet, especially planet Earth. It started with, you know, the Earth, the people, and then we had to learn how to interact with one another. So we learned from then is where that all those energies of using the moon and using the Earth and using crystals, all of that started then, and it just lifetime after lifetime, it grew, and people still remember some of that stuff. And I'm glad it hasn't completely disappeared, because it's necessary and it's needed, because we are spiritual beings first, people, and human after. We were always spirit, and this is all of spirituality, you know, and we get so caught up in only the things that we can see and feel and hear, and we forget there's something bigger going on here. We're spirits. It's the things that you don't see, it's the things that you don't, as the ones that you also need. We need all of it. Put it all together and you've completed the package. But we have tended to neglect all the stuff we cannot see, or things, even stuff we don't understand. And when you start to embrace it, then you realize how everything shifts for you. The manifestations will happen. So, I mean, it's so many different things, like you said, we can address in regards to the organizations and all the different things that have come into being that we can utilize. But they all necessary, they all work. And whatever you're gravitated to, go to it. It's probably what you've done in previous lifetimes, and it works for you. That is, works with who you are as a divine individual. I'm not saying everyone should go do yoga. I don't say everyone should go do Tai Chi. You have to figure out what works for you. Some of us, witchery works with them. It's what they've been doing for lifetimes. It was what you gravitate to, and it's what works. Embrace it. It's okay. And you would realize how your soul opens up, because now you're living your divinity. You're being who you truly are. Stop blocking yourself because of things you were told and things you were heard. If you're drawn to it, more than likely your soul is trying to reawaken you and remind you that this is you. This is how you work. Yes. So don't ever, many things I had blocked along the way. And the more that I have allowed myself to step into it and understand it, it has changed stuff for me. Like, my ancestry puts me with Congos. Like, it's where I am. And I had to accept that. And I've been with that for lifetime after lifetime. And they will remind you that, this is who you are. Like, don't put it aside, put it together, put it all together, and you're going to be your true divine self. And I've embraced it. And I've acknowledged it. I acknowledge all the different archetypes that make me who I am.
Exactly.
That is what
a lot of people are not aware of that, because a lot of people are being afraid of certain energies, and I get questions over the the energy vampires, the this, the that, the different sort of beams, whether working on a positive energy or a negative energy. But they had also to come in, because a lot of people do not realize that there are more than what you can't see. And this is why I wrote the book, Reveal the Veil of Illusions. Because we all live in illusions. Because the normal person outside are going, oh, what are you talking about?
Yes.
As if you're the loony one and they're so together. No, you're not together. Because if you're going to just think that we are the only species on this planet and the only beings on this planet, then I think you better check yourself.
Yeah.
This is just one solar system out of the many solar system. And as we elevate to the fifth dimension, what we're going to be seeing is these beings coming in, because a lot of people have been freaked out by this, by seeing things that is unexplainable. Because it is unexplainable, but it's not a UFO and it's not a EFO. Like there's a lady that she did this video on YouTube. I was watching it, and she says every night these 3 light beams come over me. Yeah, those are your spirit guides. Those are the weird things that is going to start to happen, because everything is about to happen in America. America again, and there's no wonder that on our dollar bill it says, "In God we trust." 2, you have to understand that we are one of the most powerful countries in the world, and for each and every person that lives on the ground in this country should understand that changes is about to come, and it's going to come from out of America, because we're going to be the next new Atlantis. So whenever people elevate themselves or remove the veil and understand that there's more to life between the eyes, it's as if people who are seeing spirits and that sort of a thing, and they're scared. Don't be scared. No. Protect yourself with purple light and ask the spirit, what is the message that you would like to bring me? Because sometimes they're seeing that you have positive light that can release them to the positive energy. And it's good to say, okay, what it is that you would like me to do for you. But don't be afraid, because afraid is what energy feed
attracts to. Yeah. And it depends on, when you're afraid, you'll bring in a lower energy. So you always have to keep your vibrations high. That's the goal. And most time, if you are a person who receives messages or information, you always have to listen. If it's not of a positive note, then it's not coming from a very light place, and you can easily dismiss it. I mean, it's a lot of what I do when I work with clients is a lot of people are very new to this, and they get blown away right at the beginning. But the more they work with me, the more we do energy. I do a lot of it over the phone, the energy healings, and a lot of the work we do together. They're slowly. It's amazing to see where they started to where they end up. They are so awakened. The consciousness is like, they just start to glow all of a sudden, because now they're really realizing, oh, wow. And we can look at where you were to where you got. And the things you start to realize, the things you start to accept and realize is normal. They'll start telling stories about things they've seen, visions they've had. And I sit there and I explain it to them from the records, what it meant for them and where that came from. That vision you had was when 3 lifetimes ago you were at such and such place, and it's reminding you of something. So you realize you're not crazy at the end of the day. Is what
exactly, because a lot of people think they're crazy. Because I've had a couple of clients that they said, I'm having these vivid dreams, and I'm in places, and I'm looking at myself, and I look like a reptile or something, and they're freaking out. But that is a lifetime, and that is also telling you that you also carry the energy vibration or the DNA of the reptilian. Right. And whether or not we don't want to accept that, because I can remember I knew from a past lifetime about this, and I was like, no, I don't want to be this blood group. I don't want to. And then I was confronted that, you know, you have reptilian in you. So whether or not you want to accept it or not, I have been a part of that energy. I have vibrated. My DNA straw has that energy. So I had to accept it. And they accept me also. Because, you know, each and every person has a animal, a sacred animal. And I don't know if you've seen them around people, but we all have animal protectors.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are going to start seeing their animal protector and that sort of a thing, and they're going to be freaking out. And this is what we're trying to let the public be aware that these things are here. And as we see what is going on, and as we align and elevate ourselves at a higher energy vibration to understand the planet is changing, we are changing, life is changing, to elevate ourselves. Felicia is one of them. Felicia, I need to touch on something because I think we are going to wrap this up soon.
Okay.
What about the kids?
Oh,
You reading for kids too? Because I'm sure.
yes, the kids. Those are my most exciting readings. I actually started with my own children, of course, and it's amazing to know who your kids truly are, instead of you trying to do what society and everything else does and make them someone they're not. So I got to learn both of my children's, I have two boys, their gifts, where I understood where they came from and how they were created. So now I know how to work with them, and it makes life so easy because I understand them for who they are at a soul level. I'm no longer trying to push them to do this or push them to do that. I understand how to work with them exactly where they are and who they truly are. So those reading, it's for kids. I more like to, it's not really to look at any blocks or stuff because they're still so young. You don't need all of that at that young. It depends on the age, but mine's are like 4 and 6. So, but at that age, it's always good to just understand who they truly are, because then you can help them throughout life and put them in front of what they need for them to fulfill their purpose, learn their life lessons and get their goals. It just made life so much easier understanding your children or children in general. And I've done it for a lot of parents who was always like, who is my child? I don't they see things, they understand stuff, and I would just be able to really give them answers to that, and they're just like, oh, and they learn to work with it and embrace it and nurture their children along that path. I think is always the best thing. Even if there's a lot of different kids will come with different autisms or whatever the case may be, that is broken down to understand why did your child come in with that. And obviously I don't even use the word autism because it's a name that was created here. Your child has what is not even a problem. Your child is actually a walking blessing. They're bringing in a light. It's a light that they are bringing in, a gift that they're bringing into other people.
Yeah, they created all these names, and they're not aware that most artistic kids, they are holding the energy on this planet.
A lot
of people don't know that handicapped people are the ones
they're raising
who choose to reincarnate in that form,
yes.
to bring the energy and to hold the energy on this planet. A lot of people.
Yes.
And it was so strange because in the West Indian cultures and that sort of a thing, it was a shame to have an handicapped child. Like 20, 40 years ago, it was a shame because it was as if something the mother has done that was not explained.
Yeah.
And this is why I say to a lot of people, it's good to travel and learn, okay? Because being in Europe for over 20 years, I'm seeing the energy, and that's why the Europeans are basically more aligned with certain aspects, because they're really seeing that these kids are really gifted in a form that they are happy to have their kids with them out, while West Indians and, you know, colored people on a whole is always ashamed. It's nothing to be ashamed of, because these kids are the ones who are actually holding the energy vibration of this planet. And, you know, for the people out there who feel bad because their kids come in different forms and different, you should be gracious, because what you're doing is actually healing a past life situation.
Yes, they come into you. It goes in both ways. The child who came in with that, yes, we do. People do actually choose that, and that your child has chose that because what they wanted to do for the planet in that lifetime, they felt that was the way they're going to do it, and it actually works. And you, as the parent or whoever is with the child, you're actually getting lessons as well, and you're actually growing too. It's something that you had to, a lesson you yourself wanted to learn, and you're learning it through your own child. And it's people don't realize that, like you said, you're holding such a vibration and bringing so many people together, and this vibration is so strong. And it is amazing how, and you can always look at it when you watch a handicapped person, or you see anything, with how it fills your heart with so much love. And so it's this emotion you cannot even really understand or put to words, and if you can see your energy and you can see your vibration when you're in that space with that person, you are like it's glowing. And people will have to soon learn. Yes, people choose that. Don't feel sorry and say, oh my God, why this happened. No, be grateful. I know it's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp, but it's true. Be grateful, because you're blessing the planet in ways you have no idea. Your child, it's amazing. I mean, I've seen it in action. I've dealt with people with that, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Thank you. I want to say to a lot of you, if you have any questions, mail me the question. Felicia and I, we're going to try and do one of these videos per month. Means that the energy is changing. Next time, Felicia will be able to show you what's coming up for Christmas that you can hold on the website. We're going to try to do a full moon or half moon. A new moon?
Where we going? Full's next.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to try to align people to show people how basically these things work. So Felicia and I, we are going to be connecting so that we can also bring out more information. You can always pick up the videos whether on my site or on Felicia's site, but we're trying to connect. We'll see whenever we're able to get to connect, and you guys can come and see both of us for whatever you want. We will let you guys know. But for now, we'll try and get out because Felicia has very nice products that are coming out. It is good to learn to work with crystals, because crystal does a lot of healing. We have a lot of information about clearing the energy in your house. These are going to be information that we can will not give the old information, but we help people to understand, like not coming in the house with your shoes and leave your shoes at the front door, and the reason why we do those things. So this is the first series to be another series, and I want to say to Felicia, thank you so much, my darling.
Thank you. It was fun. I'm looking forward to more. And yeah, I will talk more about the products. I'm really excited. I'm working on them now, and I'll start putting some videos as well as me getting those products out to you guys. The crystals and the candles. The candles will be infused with crystals. It's beautiful. I can't wait. But you guys start to really use these things and start reconnecting. If you want to start there as opposed to reading, it's all good. It's however you feel comfortable.
However you feel comfortable.
Yes.
It's not.
Start with the crystal. No one jumps into. Some people jump into a reading and ready. Others is like, let me take baby steps. I want to do the crystals. Let me meditate. Whatever your soul calls for, you just follow that. It's no right. There's no wrong. It's only your individual way, and embrace it and respect that for yourself. So
right.
it was fun.
Thank you, Felicia. Is there any because Felicia's in the New York area? Is there any soup kitchen or anything we're asking people to give for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Charities at all?
I don't have any right now, but for our next one, I'm gonna definitely come up with more than one probably, and we can start to do that for Thanksgiving. So definitely next week or when we reconnect, we'll have some answers for that.
All right.
Yes, let's do that.
All right, Felicia, thank you. We all have busy days, but we had to get this out. So I want to say to my viewers, Felicia viewers, please let us know, leave a message at the video if there's any question, if there's any points that you guys want us to talk about, just drop us a line. Thank you so much, Felicia.
Thank you, Kay. It's been good.